Hi, Cheaton. I wanted to go over this with you. I did write you some comments on a previous assignment, a couple of them actually with the completing the square. And I was trying to explain, and I know it's hard with math to do it, to explain in words via email, that your method of completing the square is not quite right. So I want to show you exactly the steps. And if you go back to the content in the in Unit 4, the examples there will also show you this method, and it's the proper method for finding the vertex by completing the square. So this question, it has a coefficient of 2 in front of the x squared, and so it requires one extra step from the previous assignment. You have to first remove the 2 by common factoring. So if we do that, we can just do that for the two first terms if you want. So we could actually write it like that if we wanted, okay? Now, the step that you're doing next is what's incorrect. You're setting your quadratic equal to 0, and that's not what you want to do here. When you're trying to find the vertex, you're not looking for the roots. When we want the roots or the x-intercepts of the equation, that's when we set y equal to 0, because we always cross the x-axis whenever y equals 0. Unless you're given information in the question that y is equal to 0, you can't just set y equal to 0. So what you want to do is keep y in the equation, and we're going to do the steps for completing the square, which is to take half of 6 and square it, so that's 9. We're going to add 9 and subtract 9. And then what we're going to do is we're going to write the first 3 terms as a perfect square. And then we're going to multiply over here 2 times minus 9, so we can bring it out of the brackets. It's going to become minus 18 minus 1. There. So now we have it in what we call y equals a times x minus p squared plus q form. This is p, this is q, and we can then just read the vertex from the equation. The vertex is minus 3 minus 19. Then you're done. What you're doing in the rest of your solution, like all of this stuff here, is incorrect. I think you may have been taught like this, but it's just that you're setting one side equal to 0 and you're dropping y out of the equation. And this is a function, with y written in terms of x, not an equation where we're being asked to solve for x, if I can explain it that way. So we cannot set y equal to 0 and solve for x. And I noticed that you were doing that, and that's why I made that comment on the other assignments. And again here, I want you to do it in this format that I've got shown here for all of the questions in this assignment. So what I'd really like is for you to try a couple of these again. I don't want you to have to do all the work over again, but I've done the first one for you. If you could perhaps have a look at number 2 and 3, let's say, and just complete the square for me in the format that I've shown you here and resubmit that, I would really appreciate it. That's the only way for the square to be properly completed and for you to read the coordinates of the vertex from the equation. And it's really super important that you try that out and get used to doing it in that way. Okay? All right. Please email me if you have any questions. Thanks.